We've all seen the video of the nurse who was falsely arrested for not complying with an officer. A lot of people came to the rescue of this nurse, saying that this police officer acted irrationally and this arrest was absolute BS. Now, I'm not saying that this police officer doesn't need to take a few anger management classes, but there were a few things in this video that a lot of people are not paying close attention to. Number one, the nurse resisted arrest. That's right, she resisted arrest. She slapped away a police officer's hands and ran away. Now, I guarantee you, if the police officer were to arrest this woman and she would have not put up a fight, no one would have ever heard about this story. And something that a lot of you may not realize is that commercial drivers may be required to submit to alcohol tests randomly after an accident where there is reasonable suspicion or a condition of returning to duty following an alcohol policy violation under FMCSA rules. Refusal to take a blood alcohol test is the equivalent of pleading guilty to DUI. Any person who holds a CDL, commercial driver's license, is considered to have consented to such testing, as is required by any state of jurisdiction in the enforcement of being under the influence of a controlled substance or using alcohol, be under the influence of alcohol, or have any measured alcohol concentration or detected presence of alcohol while on duty or operating in a physical control of a commercial motor vehicle. Consent is implied by a driver when driving a commercial vehicle. Any CDL holder is automatically considered to have consented to alcohol testing by a state or jurisdiction. Any CDL driver has already consented. If law enforcement has probable cause to believe a crime has occurred, such as a DUWI, an officer may seek a blood draw without warrant when the officer is presented with extingent circumstances. In extingent circumstances, a situation that requires police to act swiftly to prevent danger to life or serious damage to property. Now, this nurse goes on and on about how this patient does not give consent because he is unconscious, and it is his constitutional right to not consent while being unconscious. But if this man were awake, he would have no consent. He would have to consent to a blood draw or a breathalyzer test. That is the law. So it doesn't matter. Now, in my personal opinion, I believe that this police officer was way too heated up to deal with this situation. And I believe that he should have passed this on to another police officer who could have handled it more maturely and a lot more calmly. But with the media only showing us the last 2 minutes of this incident, we really don't know what occurred before and what led up to this actual point in time. And that's why the media is in business, because they are hate mongers who want to create hate, no matter how big or how small. The bottom line is, this police officer did act immaturely, and this is not the way a police officer should act. But as a civilian, nurse, doctor, or whatever, when a police officer asks you, "We're done, let's go outside," you don't run away, you don't slap his hand away, you just deal with it. And deal with it. That could have been handled so many different ways. I mean, did she really think that if she were to slap a police officer's hands away and run away, that this was all just going to go away? No, it actually made it worse. But in my closing argument, I would have to say that people are very quickly to jump on the media's side.